Hey, what's good, people? This is the Option Podcast. I'm Jason DeBiss. This is episode 113. That's Mike Cavataio. And the episode starts right now. Oh, it's okay. It's working. But that works. Yeah, that was turned up, but that works. Hey, what's up, people? This is episode 113. I am Jason DeBiss. This is episode 113. This is the Option Podcast, and asking you shall receive, because I've got to give the people what they want. Mike. Hey, Cavataio.
What's up, everybody?
And I'm also glad to have back, oh my God, my right-hand woman, Miranda. What the hell am I do without you? Like I said, when COVID hit, it was the single most miserable time of my life because I had to learn how to do all this shit by myself. So before we got on the podcast, we were talking about Kelsey Brandin, right? She's for those of you listening, Kelsey's got like this big event, this Big Four events coming up October 10th.
Yep.
And she's awesome. She's an awesome human being, just putting in this straight up work.
Definitely, yeah. A lot goes into that.
Right? There is It's weird. I call what she's doing volleyball activism. Mm-hmm. You know, like some people are good with symbolism. You know, they put stuff on social media that makes everybody better, and that works for them. And then there's some people that are out there just putting in that straight work. And I got to tell you, that's her, man. I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'm just saying people play to their strengths, and I think she's really strong with that.
For sure, yeah. Kelsey's always been good with bringing people together socially too, like just around Hermosa too. She organizes games for everybody. So she's kind of always that social leader, and then she's got a chance to be on that put together this event like that. So it's a really special thing for her too, you know, to have that opportunity to do something for like a special cause too. So and she's the person to do it.
And we were also saying she's got like one of these dude voices. Like, who the hell knows she's deaf? Nobody knows.
You wouldn't know.
I mean, we ain't trying. I'm not trying to cheese the deaf to say they sound a certain way, but she doesn't sound like your classic run of the mill deaf person that kind of has this thing like that, right?
Right.
No, hers is like, you know, let's evacuate these bitches. You know, that's her. She sounds like a military leader. So
yeah, you would never be able to know.
So
for sure.
How long you been in Hermosa?
I've been here 3 years. So 3 years coming up in November, actually. So 2 in a little bit.
Wow, holy sugar! It's pretty sure that's where I met you, south of the pier.
I think so.
Just kind of doing your thing. You look like. I think you look like someone that I knew, and you weren't that person, but I was like, I like you anyway.
You can tell you're from New York, though, too. So you got the New York connection. Yeah. But, I get that a lot. Some people, all my friends are like, oh, I waved to you the other day at the pier, by the Strand. And I'm like, that wasn't me. Like, I wasn't there. Like, the person didn't wave back. Well,
before we go any further on this podcast, I'll give you a piece of advice. If you're not sure if you know someone, just say hi. Just wave. If you see a girl with a visor cap and shades.
Yeah.
You want to talk about people that look alike.
Volleyball people?
The women. I mean, 10 times more than the men.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, right? Just big leg, hat, shades. Yeah. But you're playing sunset games. They're out there. They can see a silhouette of you. Looks enough like you. Yeah, just wave.
Yeah.
I remember Andrew Dentler was going to get a T-shirt saying, "No, I'm not Ryan Doherty."
Oh, yeah. Yep, I can see that.
Yeah. So that's, was there something other than volleyball that brought you out of New York to here?
No, mostly volleyball. So I came out here just for volleyball, and then obviously being part of California and being part of that lifestyle here and what Hermosa Beach has to offer is just something that was something new for me, and took that chance. Yeah,
no doubt. And you're from New York?
Yeah, grew up in Queens.
You grew up in Queens?
Yeah.
Mark Burik grew up in Queens.
Yeah, we went to the same high school.
Oh, you did?
We didn't know each other then.
What high school, though?
St. Francis Prep.
And, that's a good school.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, shoot.
That's a good school, man.
Yeah, good college.
I was coaching Hunter High School, and we had I think in order for us to be ranked with someone, we had to play a lot of schools outside of the PSAL, and the best schools at that time, the public schools, were all in Queens. Cardozo,
Right.
American Academy of American Studies had a 4-year period. A couple of Polish guys.
Okay.
You know, that's what you get when you have these when it's a foreign
Yeah.
student school, right?
Yeah.
You know, some kid playing at 4 years old who's like housing you at 10. Yeah, and St. Francis Prep. Who else? Chaminade.
Yeah.
Regis was a private school. That was in Manhattan, though.
For sure.
But
Or like Malloy's, and I don't know, Malloy,
yeah.
all in that CHSAA league. That
Yeah.
was yeah,
Were
St.
you
Randall's.
Did you play college ball?
I played college basketball.
Oh, you did.
So yeah, I didn't play volleyball until 4 years ago.
What? Holy fucking
yeah.
shit! 4 years ago.
Yeah, 3 or 4 years ago, I started playing, and I looked up better at beach. I was like, I need to learn how to get better
Dude.
at volleyball.
This dude comes out holding his platform. The man got sand hands. He's clearing the net, the timing on his block. Didn't come out goofy foot, right?
Yeah.
All right, Rob McLean, what do you want from me? Rob just texted me. That's amazing, dude. 4 years?
Yeah. So I started. My friend asked me to play in a sixes league, and I just I got hooked.
Can you fucking believe that, Miranda?
Not at all.
That's insane, dude.
Seems to be the Hermosa story. That going through better at beach, getting into it, and then it's all the time.
Yep.
Dude, I gotta tell you, you make people reevaluate how long that they've been playing. This dude comes out of nowhere in 4 years. You're like, some dudes are like, maybe I should get a coach. Maybe I should get a.
That's the one thing I did right away. It's just I got the coach. I got coach right away, going to Mark, and just learning the right way from the start. Pretty much, I think that helped a lot.
I love what Mark is doing in a sense that in the South Bay, for everybody listening and everyone watching this podcast, you're not going to find too many adult clinics and adult camps. All right? Where's my camera? Right there. The only thing the South Bay gives a shit about are juniors and high-level professionals and no one else in between. There's, right to my knowledge,
Yeah.
I mean, I know Sigler does some fun stuff, but that's not a camp. That's not a clinic. That's
Right.
just a whole bunch of people drinking and getting together. Let's just call it what it is, right? Respect to Bill. Mark is the only guy in the South Bay doing an adult camp and adult clinics.
Yeah, that's from what I've seen so far. I mean, and he's bringing a community too, and he has like community people there that come all the time. It's just, and he's giving high level instruction. All of his coaches there are just, you're getting the best instruction too in the South Bay. From those guys.
Well, Tanisa, right? Sri, she played ball in Canada. She was on a podcast. She was at York in Canada with Brandy Wilkerson and Sava Pavin. And she was part of their camps, and then, you know, just advanced on, just trying to find ways to do it right. And I mean, to me, beach volleyball is, if you want to succeed at it, you want to find a way to do it right. And right, I use the word right as loosely because there are more than one ways to skin a cat. But right is just this basic, grounded, fundamental way where you can find a technique that gets stronger as you continue to grow in the game, and is something that you can rely on when you need it, right?
Yeah.
When the score is 19 up, tensions are high, and butt cheeks get tight.
For sure. Yeah.
You need something to fall back on that works. Because in my experience, I've seen so many players at all levels fall back to something that they're comfortable with that doesn't necessarily work. Like in high school or in a lot of these club things, someone gets blocked and they get blocked and it's 23 up. They will just hit middle of the court as hard as they can and beg the ref for a touch. That's their comfort zone. That's something that maybe they've gotten lucky a couple of times and gotten the touch, but it's something where they know they won't get blocked, but there's so many other things that can go wrong with it, right? In a sixes game, you can either get blocked or you get touched up where it goes straight to position 6. And if you manage to split the hands on the block, it goes straight to position 6. He digs it. And even if it goes to position 6, you don't have the range for the ball and not be hit long. So there's like 100 different things wrong with hitting middle of the court, unless it's like a go ball, like you're hitting the tweener and dropping it in front of the D. Sometimes with sand. Someone gets blocked, they just start rolling.
Yep.
They start rolling, and
Yep.
and next thing you know, their body language, right, suggests shot. Right, because they don't look like they're jumping for power. And any decent player or any decent defender is like shot. So I guess my question to you, as I'm babbling along here, how comfortable are you with what Mark has been showing you and developing techniques that you're comfortable that bring you to the dance?
It's helped me.
It's a loaded question, but
It's helped me so much. I mean, just the type of vision, the core vision that he kind of always teaches throughout his like camps and throughout his lessons. That's key for like beach and doubles. There's so much court available, and just having that ability to kind of read the defender or read the block and shoot to a specific spot. Pretty much when I like first started, I was more of a shooter because I didn't really have that natural arm swing. So that helped a lot, just to have the vision. And then now more developing like a swing and be able to be aggressive and force the defender to like stick in the angle a little bit more, because they are threatened by, but me potentially swinging as well. But those are like little things that Mark does so well. Is just constantly giving feedback during his lessons, I think too. When I've worked with him, that's just consistently telling you like, what were you thinking there, or what can you change here for this aspect, or did you see the defender move? Did you see him like start poking early, and like now it's a giveaway sign that he's gonna either go over the block, or like you got to read those kind of things quickly. And then that's the thing about just getting more reps in, is you're getting those instincts built in, where now you've seen that play 1,000 times, and you're just like, all right, I know he's gonna hit a cut shot here. My blocker's taking away line or something, and you can make those
isn't it
reads.
amazing that even at the high levels, a lot of players give away their shot? Like you just had this, right? Someone's jumping, they got both arms up, and then they do this.
Yep.
And it kind of buys you, for the defender, I guess any decent defender, you got to be able to cover a lot of court in about just over a second, maybe 1.15 seconds, 1.2 seconds. Bruno, Brazil does it in like 0.9. So that's some elite shit right there. Ahmed, we got to do some. That guy from Qatar, man, we got to do some more research on him, because he's a top 3 defender that no one talks about. Of course, there's Christian Sorum and there's Lupo and all these people, but I think that's what, for the people watching, as far as read and react is concerned, right? Assuming you can't read him and he's shooting, you have less than a second on a perfect set, and you're not more likely than not in system, you're not going to get it. But anything that can help you read big, is really, really good. So Mark has been instrumental in that, right?
Yeah, Mark's been instrumental, like especially in my career, and I've worked with other coaches as well too. Like P1440 is another platform that I was part of that really helped me grow too.
So many players, huh?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's just like these opportunities that pop up and that you get to take advantage of and connect with new people, meet with new people, understand new coaching philosophies from different people too. So you just pick up things from players too along the way. Like players give you tips, and just being open to like listening to those players is like so helpful for me when I've been playing.
Yeah, always listen. That's the rule.
Yeah.
Right. Always listen, and then again, it's more than one way to skin a cat, right? There, Rob McLean, I was working with him, and he was showing me, we were sharing ideas on like the knee down drill, something that I teach, but I, as a player, have never practiced. As an indoor player, I never wore knee pads, very much like Karch and like some other players. And his philosophy is it takes more energy to not use the knee than it is to use the knee. So, but the argument was, it's not a lot of energy to not use the knee for the people who have not been using the knee all their life. And that's something Rob needed to be a cue to. I mean, there's one way Rob teaches everybody how to play, and it is technically the right way. If you're coaching juniors who are coming up, who don't have the habit of doing it another way, right? Like, Phil's a goofy fit, right?
Yeah.
Is a new coach going to come along and say you shouldn't jump lefty, right?
Yeah.
Phil's going to be like, you're fired. You're right, and you're fired. So I guess because you're an adult, I was going to ask you the question because you're an adult, but at the same time, you've also been playing 4 years. So it's not like you're into adulthood where you've developed techniques that are stronger that work or bad habits, like getting better at doing it the wrong way. So were there any obstacles in your development that you felt like could be problematic that you had to fix?
Passing was Passing, I'm still working on that. Passing is just one of the hardest skills that I like picking up, and just moving and getting that platform together. That's kind of been like the hardest thing, and just basically just getting out there and just getting as many reps in as possible and just keep drilling that for the most part. But that's been like the biggest challenge for me a lot. And it was nice too, because like never playing indoor is that handsets were always started with beach handsets at least. So there was never like a transition period or something different from
a fast release to
right from to like more slow and smooth.
The Pizza Hut set. Yeah. The FBI catch and release.
Yep.
Good. No, but passing's king out in the beach.
Yeah.
And it's even more so for indoor, because passing is a timing play. You have to pass to a target that is more specific. If you pass anywhere away from that target, you might have a middle, you're running a pattern at a certain zone, and now the setter has to move there. You just took out one of your three options by not passing this timed play. So where the beach, you just have to really pass in high enough for your setter to A, use his hands, B, has some peripheral vision that if he wants to option, and C, that doesn't stab his gas tank.
Yeah.
Right.
Get run around.
Yeah. Like, what specifically in passing do you want to get better now, from, let's say, from today, going into next weekend, going to whatever. And when I say specifically about passing, I mean one move to the ball. I'll give you an example. One move to the ball, holding your platform at the end. I don't know if Mark is a platform hold guy. He might be as an indoor player from George Mason. Yeah. Straight and simple, straight platform, simple pass. So what specifically passing do you think you want to implement, or just constantly maybe do some drills where your focus is on that? Give me one.
Yeah, definitely early platform and just holding the platform. That part's always been just a struggle for me. And then just like my first footwork when the serve's coming. Like, I don't want to waste steps. I kind of want those steps to be like, if the ball's to my left, I don't want to have like a false shuffle step. So kind of just like moving smoothly to the ball and getting my feet there without like taking certain bad steps. You know, like, and just having that process smooth.
Yeah. Something I learned with LMU, I was John's assistant at LMU, and we would have practices that were specific just for that. Like, we'd have a 2-hour practice, and the whole practice was passing. You play volleyball around it, of course. You set, and maybe we'd just do shots, or maybe we do some hard driven. But everyone had to come into each drill with something they call a passing focus. So one of the 3 examples, maybe there's more though that I got to. So if someone was to work on holding their platform and one move to the ball, they couldn't choose 2. They only had to choose 1.
Nice.
So one move to the ball, and then let volleyball take care of itself. Again, that's a preseason thing. Right. That's for beach volleyball. If there's an out of season thing, or like training, let's say it's January and you're training to play in Huntington or somewhere in March, that's the kind of shit that you want to do at that time. So then, when you're doing real practices, you can operate under more than one focus, and it's not an overload. Some people, 3's an overload.
That's a good call, though.
Jeff Samuels, three things are an overload.
It's hard to focus on 1 and 3 at once. Yeah, that's a good call.
Try being his coach, dude. Too much information.
Jeff coached me actually too.
Yeah.
So Jeff was coaching me for a while also.
But Jeff practices what he preaches.
Yeah.
He slows down. He does everything at eye level. He doesn't speak up here like a douchebag. Everything's at eye level, and he slows down, and his articulation.
Yeah, it's great.
We're very careful saying that about black people, right? Because it's like, what are you trying to say? You didn't expect that coming from a brother, but no, the way that man speaks
for sure
is curiously perfect.
Yeah.
Right? He does. He's like Avery Johnson without the rasp. That basketball player. He says, well, we got to get in position to do these things. So take it with a rasp. And Jeff is like, well, you don't have to worry about that. That guy's not going to do that.
Yep. Yeah. He helped me out a lot. He breaks it down.
And then he'll take a beat. Yeah, Jeff's good. Yeah. But he thinks it's easy to being his coach. But he's got to appreciate it's difficult because he's a control freak. There's some things where he has to allow himself to give up control. All right. And one of our practices, like Kyle Ratty was just cracking up because we just had this long discussion or whatever, and he wasn't gonna move. And me, I'm a strong personality. If he makes me stand still, then I'm useless to him as a coach. He's just not gonna fucking listen to me. So that was great. That first day, and the whole time, the guy cracking up the whole time is Kyle. He's like, dude, I just came off the construction site.
Yeah, that was their first. That was their first tournament playing together for a while.
Manhattan Beach, yeah. And Kyle hasn't played in a while, period.
Right.
You know, so but his fundamentals don't go away.
No.
But I tell you what does go away, those fucking sand legs, dude.
Yeah, those are
Yeah. Let me say something. In Manhattan Beach, we played Devin Berkey and Schwengel.
Yep.
And we won that match, but it felt like a loss.
Yeah, it was just a grind.
You ever have a match like that? You won.
Oh yeah, you have to grind.
Like
you have to grind through some of those, for sure.
So shit. Enough about me, and let's talk about you. So let's go present tense because it's just so easy, and then we can jump back and forth in time because that's what I do. I drive us off the steering wheel. This is why I got this one to remind me to put my seatbelt on if I'm gonna do that. You know, I just might live, right? keep your fingers crossed. I'll do that again for the camera. So let's go Long Beach. Not Long Beach, Long Beach, California.
Long Beach, New York.
Long Beach, New York.
Love Long
this
Beach,
beach
New
with
York.
a bunch of bougie ass people. You got to pay to get on the beach. But I got to tell you, the sand there is so much better than Long Beach, California.
Sand there was perfect too.
Long Beach?
When I first started playing in Long Beach, New York, it was the perfect sand. It was like
the best. And the depth is good too.
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah,
it was clean. It was white. It was like kind of like the perfect mix of like deep and not too shallow. You could jump.
You're like,
doesn't
damn,
brush
this ain't
off.
Coney Island.
Yeah. And then they dredged it. So then they kind of ruined it for a little bit. So now it's kind of in the process of like getting back to where it was. So there's some good spots like where some of the locals will play in the good spots where there's just better sand.
Is it on YouTube? Do you have any of the games on YouTube?
What do we got?
What would we key search that as? I was gonna have Miranda pull up a game for us.
Shoot.
Well,
sure. Gotta figure out. I gotta think about that.
So remind me, who'd you play with again?
For that tournament, I was with Kyle O'Neill, Sammy Gibson, and Brett Scarmazzo.
Oh, you're playing forwards.
We were playing forwards.
That's right.
So it was a.
Brett is awesome.
Yeah. Brett's a great guy.
O'Neill's a sick defender.
O'Neill's
His shot game is fierce.
Could set any ball.
Yeah. Hands just run.
Yeah.
You can run all the way to the back line, jump in the air,
Yeah.
and fling it.
Yeah,
and
he doesn't do bump.
clean.
He doesn't do bump run throughs.
No.
It's only
he's the Ty Tremblay of the West Coast.
Yeah, it's great.
Really
so
is.
it's always fun playing with Kyle and Sammy's. Sammy's great too, hitting out of the middle, great passer. So it was.
And Brett was playing right side.
And Brett was playing right.
Natural right side.
Yeah.
He played with Jeff this weekend. Schitzelen won a tournament in, I don't know, Rhode Island, somewhere in the East. Jeff developed his own league and just trying to get this beach volleyball league off the ground.
Oh, nice.
And he's been playing in some tournaments. And Brett.
Yeah.
Good hands. Complete
Jumps high.
player. I'd like to see him get a coach.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of the thing, and at least in New York, I'm not sure how coaching is available, or who's out there coaching. I don't really.
It's more about the latter. It's more about who's out there at the time. Like Mamdou, who was an indoor coach for a while. People don't know he's a beach coach. He coached the Egyptian national team. I think he did some help with Qatar and some of those people, and he's a good coach, but he travels. And after him, who is there? There's no one else. They're all out here.
Yeah, you got a lot of guys out here for sure. So,
which is weird because all the good coaching for indoor is the Midwest and East. We have an old saying: if you see a talented West Coast team, like college team, it's the players. If you see a talented Midwest team, it's the coach. And if you see a talented East Coast team, it's international players. It's foreigners. So. Which is seeped to the West Coast, right? I mean, they were complaining before about all these foreign players are beating our teams, and I'm like, that's kind of a lie, right? It's like, Dane, let me ask you something. Who's the best player on your team? It's like Tina Gradino, right? She's on your pair one. She's from Latvia. Oh, and by the way, she's in the Olympics. So stop.
Yeah, you got a good team.
UCLA, who was their pair one, the McNamara's graduated,
Okay.
right? They're freaking Canada. They're from Canada, so it's not fun when someone else uses it against them. So tell me about this tournament. I got to see a live stream of it. And this crowd was so huge. And the atmosphere, Long Beach.
Yeah, I think I might have something on my Instagram.
The atmosphere was so nostalgic.
Yeah, I might have I don't know if that could be pulled up on my Instagram. I think I got the live feed on there.
I have never seen...
It was unbelievable.
Dude, I have never seen... You can go on Instagram, see if you can pull it up. I've never seen an East Coast game, a fours game like that.
Yep. Yeah.
You rarely see doubles games like that.
Never.
No.
I've never played in a doubles game like that.
But the last thing I saw like that was like AVP Coney Island.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you have... That tournament's got, I think, over 300, 400 teams. I think if we go...
Were you?
Yeah.
I know there were like seats being
No, not big hall. Just
Because no one got the...
Look at that crowd around it. That is standing room only. There are people behind, people all the way to the tent in the back. If you look in the tent in the back, that is ridiculous, guys. That is not Hermosa Beach, California. Okay, that's not Long Beach, California. That is Long Beach, Long Island, New
that guy
York.
was great with the score.
It was so helpful.
I know.
I mean,
Yeah.
how many volleyball people were there? All of them. It would take everybody who loves volleyball and plays volleyball to actually get a crowd like that.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, there was, I think, 400 teams in that tournament overall. Like, they have competitive fours, they have rec fours, they have competitive fours, they have rec sixes, and they have competitive sixes and rec sixes. So they got all these different levels. Everyone's practicing. It's raising money for cancer from the Michelle O'Neill Foundation, and it's electric. Like that last final game and the semifinal game, you don't get a chance. Like, just to play in front of that many people was
You can't
awesome.
pay for that.
Yeah.
You can't pay for that.
Yep.
I look. It was the best thing that happened to me that didn't happen to me. I'm sitting there and I'm watching this game from like across the country, and I'm like,
Yep.
God, I miss New York. And the crazy thing is, in New York, I never even went to Long Island. I mean,
Right.
I wish I went more because I never. If you grew up in an atmosphere where your beaches are Coney Island, or your beaches are Rockaway, and people are like, I'm going to the beach, you coming? I'm like, no, fuck off. No. The sand's hot.
Yep.
You got a bunch of whales out there, look like Free Willy. No. But then I'm out here, and now the beach is my office.
For sure. Yep. Yeah, it doesn't get better. I mean, Long Beach just has like such a good volleyball community, which, I mean, that's where I first started playing, and that's kind of why I'm so tight with all the people in that community too. It's just a great spot. Like, everyone there took me in, like my first partner, or people that were practicing there, and like that whole community there has always been helping me out. Like, people teaching me stuff along the way too. So, and they love volleyball, and like they have rec fours leagues in Long Beach Monday through Friday night, and they have like 70 nets going with three teams per net, and that's just a Monday or Tuesday night.
It's like every night.
Where they got and you got some drinks. You got it. Like, you go in there after work. It was the best thing ever. Like, you go after work, you just shoot down to Long Beach, and you got 200 people playing volleyball. Just hanging out.
It is truly a lifestyle, dude.
Yeah.
It is, because people think of the California scene, and it is a lifestyle, and they're both lifestyles, but Long Beach is different.
Yeah.
It's different. Yeah. They're out there. They sing karaoke together. They got roommate situations. They got marriages. Here, there's more of this feel of like four guys meet up.
For sure.
We play volleyball.
Yeah.
I gotta go. Gotta go get my kid. I
Yep.
gotta go. This and that. We're there.
Oh yeah.
It's a It's a true.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not saying out here is not an organic community. I'm just saying that there are levels to it. The levels of volleyball. The beach volleyball here is always going to be significantly better.
Right.
You have more people playing it. You have people playing it 12 months out of the year. So odds are, guess what? They're going to have more talent, and it is what it is. That's just the way it is. You'll have some, yeah.
You know, exactly. We'd set up. You'd have people say, "Oh, we're going to set up at this spot." They'd have 5 nets, pop-up nets, set them up, and then anyone who wants to come down, pretty much come down, play.
That's awesome, dude.
Just meet some new people.
Yeah.
And
Do you know Mike Salick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
We kind of grew up not together, but we grew up playing with and against each other. He grew up in Brooklyn.
Yeah, he's a great player.
I'm from Brooklyn. He went to Midwood High School. I was in Hunter College for a cup of coffee. I was there for 1 semester before I went to Marymount. And he played at LIU Southampton.
Okay.
And Good player, man. Kyle
Yeah.
Robinson was on that team. They both.
Yeah.
Kyle Robinson played on the national team, the U.S. team.
Shoot.
Mike played ball in Belgium, Spain.
I hear so many stories about people playing against Mike and just blocking people. Like everyone, yeah.
He's this
Just-
regular sized dude that blocks
just-
like a 6'6" guy.
Yep.
Sick,
Yep.
dude. You want to see a good video? Look up him and Greg Hunter.
Yeah.
How's that
I
for a
gotta-
name, huh?
Yeah, I gotta see some. I gotta watch
Yeah,
that.
look that up. Go on YouTube. Look up Salick/Hunter versus Bennett. Is Eton Bennett?
Oh yeah.
It was New York AVP.
Okay.
It was 2017 maybe.
Yeah.
2016. Mike played with Kyle O'Neal,
Okay.
and they upset. I think Ty Loomis and Andrew Dentler.
Really?
And then the second round they lost to Kevin McCulloch and no, it's Kevin McCulloch and Ty Loomis.
Nice.
McCulloch is a T-Rex with a fast swing. He's got these T-Rex arms, and his whip is nasty, dude. So
Which one?
it's called Salick/Hunter. Salak.
I got a good because I was playing Salick in a Long Beach tournament, and I was playing with Connor. You know Connor O'Rourke?
Yeah.
So we're playing, and like there was just a random free ball. I dig it up. I send it like so far. Next person sends it up. Like I have to go chase after. We're both running down. I flip it back over. They weren't even paying attention where the play was over. They shook hands. It was like 18-18. All of a sudden, it's like
Dude.
19-18.
It's like they turned around.
And they, yeah,
That was the ball.
yeah. yeah.
What was that? So, yeah, Mike. Not gonna air his laundry too much. He has Parkinson's. So I wish him well. And that's crazy for me, man. I shouldn't even say it in the podcast because I don't even think a lot of people know about that. He's been pretty. I had to find it from somebody else
Right.
that's close to him.
Yeah.
But I like Mike because he came back. He gained some weight or whatever, and he battled a little depression or whatever, and then somehow resuscitated everything. Got a new girl, got himself back in shape, and then he played with O'Neal. And then the second time around, he played with Hunter, and they may qualify round 3. They lost to Alejandro Parra and Paula Reza. But they beat Angel Dace the first round, 16-14, which is not easy.
Like, listen, like everybody hits, but just, he's got
So that's Mike at the front, blocking, full-time blocking. That's Greg Hunter. This is AVP.
nice jump serve.
Now,
Serve
we're
left
doing the
shoulder,
Greg Hunter in a
very,
minute.
very smart. Mike
I
jumps
want
into
to
the
see if I could
cross,
just
kind
skip
of
ahead
over,
and show
Webber.
Greg Hunter how nasty this guy
Crazy
is
because
swinging.
the way it flies off.
Give it 10 seconds.
How about I was thinking the same thing? Kenny, you doing all my dirty work for me.
Greg Hunter, I can't. This dude, let me scroll ahead.
I think he can destroy the ball too.
They win next, they're in the main draw.
Let's do
And if
this.
Mike
I think
Salick
this
is
is
in
it.
AVP main draw, look out.
Watch this
world.
dude's wrist away, dude.
New York City would be turned up.
It's this little guy with this dad bod, right? He's got these tight ass shorts, and did you see that coming? No, it's this subtle approach, and it looks like he's gonna shoot it,
What a great
and
way to
just murders
Right
it.
down the line.
Savage, dude. So.
Sick.
Yeah, I like Mike a lot. I don't even mentioning Mike is random, but only because we go back a long way. We were friends,
sure.
and then there's a while we didn't like each other. We, do a lot of chatter under the net. You get competitive with someone. Some point it gets personal. You shake hands after the match, but you're not friends. Even which is weird because even mixed martial arts.
Yeah, you'd be.
You beat the shit out of each other, and
Yeah.
you could give someone a hug.
It's all respect.
You at least get a hug after that. But no, there was some. I won't say it in the podcast, but there was some things said back and forth, where my fault. I carry most of the guilt. I go too far. I go too far sometimes, and looking back retrospectively, I have. So let's talk about Coconut Beach.
Cool.
Was that a breakthrough tournament for you?
Yeah. They're going into Coconut Beach and just getting, just feeling like you could play against certain guys is the key, and that was like a breakthrough thing for me, where it's like, all right, I could compete at this level potentially, or I could play in this game, like I'm part of this game, and I mean that main game was against Eric and Troy, and after getting through pool play, Ben, Shazzle and I, we got through pool play, and that's just something new for us too, where that was our first. I think that was before New Orleans, Right. Yeah, that was our first time playing like an AVP next. I played in 1 or 2 qualifiers before that, but just now I've been practicing, I've been training, and now you're testing, you're seeing like where are you at compared to like everyone else that's been practicing and training. And that time too, just getting out of pool and then having a game against Eric and Troy and giving them a decent game, giving them a good game was like, all right, like
That was an amazing game.
Yeah.
That was an amazing game. I know somewhere out there there's video on that. Because I hope, but because I was doing color commentary, I was doing center court, and I was only doing center court in court 1, which meant I missed a slew of great matches like that. And I know Jeff and Dylan Cox had a tough quarterfinals too. I had the pleasure of watching Dentlin Ferrari. I thought John Ferrari played a masterful tournament out there. But so I thought that was a breakthrough game for you and Ben.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we never played against. I haven't played against those guys. I haven't played against like a top 20 team yet at that point. So that was a chance to play against, a main draw team and have a chance to compete, and kind of gives you that confidence.
And one of the games is 22-20. 22-20, right?
We had 19-18 on the good side and kind of made some mistakes. I missed the option ball by about half a foot. And then Shazzle might have turned one to the net, but it's all, we made some mistakes, and but just having that confidence after, and that's the thing too, is like, I think like learning how to play later on is just getting signature, like good wins and having that opportunity to like feel like you can compete.
Let's go to Miranda. Let's go to the. I just want to show everybody what New Orleans looked like. Now, that's actually pretty cool, right? Let's scroll ahead. You could scroll somewhere in the middle of the match. This is the finals. This is Eric. This is Logan Webber, Evan Cory versus Rafa Rodriguez. And you won't hear it because I didn't put up the volume. Like that.
Poor
You hear it now,
mama
right?
scared the living tar out of that kid.
Yeah. This is a weird commentating thing for me because the guy that was emceeing, Dave Shaw, was actually emceeing and then grabbing the mic trying to call play-by-play at the same time, and I'm supposed to do color, and I'm just like, I gotta wait till he's done with the mic, the loud microphone to talk, and then when I talk, he's on the mic. So I'm just like, man, that took skill. So for the people watching this, that's a beautiful sunset. And I don't like the term AVP Next anymore. I love AVP America because for 2 reasons. One, if that's a next, Miranda, do you see this? Do you see that setup? Bleachers on both sides. There's a stage. The restaurants in the back. They have night lights when the sun sets. And it's 2 high-quality teams. Rafa Rodriguez, AVP champ for San Francisco. He and Marciniak took 2 third places. That's good. We're good. Took 2 third places. 2 third place finishes.
Tournaments are loaded.
The Brazilians, right?
Yeah.
Freaking Larissa's a bronze, 3-time Olympian and a bronze medalist. This is not. Next is supposed to sound like developing professionals ready for the big tour. I'm like, give me a fucking break.
Yeah, no, there was none of that in these AVP Next. I mean, the top 15 teams are always.
But that's why it was so cool to get in a pool.
Yeah, it was great.
This wasn't your run-of-the-mill Next.
No, it was great. It was, and then having the chance to play to some of these teams too, and see where you're at, or see what they do really well, or understand like I gotta do this better, or that's what it feels like. It feels like to play against this block or this defender. You don't get that all the time when you're in your practice.
Agreed.
With the pressure.
Yeah.
With the pressure.
Practice is one thing, but like you said,
yeah.
As a longtime coach setting up pressure situations, we have to be creative because you can't really duplicate a real life, a real time situation.
Yeah.
Man, God bless any coach that can make any player treat that situation as if it's 1-1, as if it's like the beginning of the game.
I don't think it's possible. It's experience.
No, you consider experience, right?
You gotta get experience for that to feel like not nervous or shaky.
So Evan Cory, Logan Webber, they won that.
Yeah.
I think that gave them a bid from Manhattan.
Yeah.
And then they won Seaside and got a bid for Chicago. So good for them.
Yeah. And then they won. They won New Orleans. New Orleans.
They won New Orleans.
Yeah.
They beat Rafu and Peter.
Oh.
Asterisk. Peter had he's on the bad wheel. He cramped up and chose to play.
Did they win Wapaka?
Yeah.
They won with Pocket too, Evan and Logan, right?
Yeah. Well, it was the year of New Orleans, right? It was the Louisiana people. Kristen Nuss and Taryn Kloth won the women. Aren't they great, Miranda? Aren't they just terrific? Oh my God. Well, Taryn's from Dakota, but she's a Louisiana transplant. They just call her that. You know, Kristen Nuss is Louisiana born. Of course, Evan Corey is Kenner, Louisiana. Yeah. And they both won Wapaka. They both won Seaside. Not Seaside. They both won Coconut. Kristen Nuss and Taryn Kloth won Atlantic City.
Yeah, they were playing
unbelievable. And then AVP Atlanta.
Yep. That was sick.
What's sick is the qualifier to the main draw to beating the brakes off of Sarah Sponsel and Kelly Clays. It went 3, but really it was an ass whooping. It just lasted 3 sets, right? There's someone that could go 10 rounds, but you get your ass kicked all 10 rounds. I mean, dude, because that first game I think was 11 or 12. That first game was 21-12.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That was something.
How could you not see that coming?
Dude,
I'm like, am I the only one that sees this coming? Like everybody's like, oh, that's nice they got this far, and I'm just like, wait for it. Wait for it, because everyone's gonna be like, oh my God, they're shocked, you know. And even then, they still didn't get their respect because they didn't. It's like, okay, you didn't do it here, you didn't do it. You know, Atlantic City, that's $100K purse. That's a bigger tournament. Let's see how they do. Betsy Flynn, Emily Day was there. You know, the Brazilians are there. Chrissy Jones. Let's see how they do. They won that. Yep. Oh, Atlantic. Oh, this is now the tour. Oh, this is, and then they won that. And then finally, you hit a brick wall in the form of the Olympic gold medalist, the reigning champions. Okay. Yeah. Who they lost to in both Chicago and But question about you, Coconut Beach. Yeah. What's Ben Shassel?
Yep.
Who's like the poor man's Taylor Crab. He's a mirror image. In fact,
he looks like him. Yeah, he's got
doesn't
a
he
Taylor
the body
Crab
type?
Look a little bit. Yep.
The body type. I don't know. He looks like he has less screws loose than Taylor does, but
yeah, Ben's got his stuff together.
Taylor, where you at?
Ben's
you
got
look like you got a screw loose, man. That's my dude, though. Taylor did the. I have a pick 6, NFL pick 6 from my debate show, and he's always been accommodating. I'm like, give me your 6, battle me and Rob, and he did that. He was 3-3, I was 3-3, and Rob was I think 5-1 or something like that. It was just ridiculous. But give me one thing, Coconut Beach. One thing that you thought Ben Shassel did well.
I thought he was aggressive, like just in certain situations. Like I remember playing against Evan and Logan, and he's getting digs. Like,
was that your pool?
They were in our pool, so we played them in our pool. That was our one, and then we got Eric and Troy when we pulled out. But even against like Logan and Evan, like he just got aggressive swings like down the line, like challenging the block, challenging Troy. Like, you know, he just did a really good job of that, and his defense, like he's just getting like big time like digs on players. Like people are hitting at him and he's just digging. Like you hit hard at him, he's going to get dug. Like, and he's passing it really well too. So those two things, like strong aggressive line swings in the right spot for digs.
I'd like to see him run more back sets. Those back sets into his left shoulder. He's got a great crossover. Yeah. He's got a good wrist away. Yeah. And there's some situations where it feels like the blocker has his timing. And then some of these sets are not necessarily, some of them are trappy, but some of them he's kind of trapping himself the way he approaches in, right?
Yeah.
And to your demise and in your defense.
Right.
Yeah, occasionally just run a back set.
Yeah, Ben and I always go do that too, because I'm like, what do you want to say? He's like, get it to the net. And I'm like, if I get you to the net, you might get trapped here. Yeah. But he always kind of wants, like, he sometimes wants that close ball necessarily. Yeah. And we argue back and forth about it.
Yeah. Well, the only thing you could do is really be the first one at the scene of the crime.
Yeah.
I always tell people, if you're going to compete set,
always
be the first one at the scene of the crime. Because most of the people that want to bring something out of system or something back in system and just give their partner something competitive to swing at. Yeah. How many times do you see those guys actually just run and get their ass over there and cover, right? Like, I'll give you an example. Like, let's say I'm playing with Oz or I'm playing with Jeff or someone and they pass the ball outside the court. I'm not just trying to bring it back. I'm trying to bring back a set day, whatever. So the set's tight. I mean, the set's high, it's in front of the net, but it might be a little tight. And where's my fucking ass? I'm still on the ground watching or whatever, right? And then your mind, like the other player doesn't want to tell the guy you got to get up because there's a level of gratitude that he turned a lemon into lemonade.
Yeah.
But I, as a coach, I'm always going to tell, and I told
Yeah.
when I was coaching Earl and Jake,
Yeah.
Earl, man,
Yeah.
you got to be the first one at the scene of the crime. The guy on the floor that's watching it, that's okay if that's me. I'm 50. I'm 51 years old, right? So, like elite athletes that are like, oh, I just set the ball. How am I supposed to get that? You're supposed to get that because you're a fucking elite athlete.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to get that because you're in a match against an evenly matched team where that chance you took and the consequences or the benefit are instrumental. So. The difference between you losing by two or winning by two is your ability to take something little like that, spring your ass up like Superman, and get over there and cover. Which, by the way, the people watching the game, we want to talk about moving the volleyball needle. Everyone's going to be like, holy sugar.
Oh, yeah. And they try to option because they're going to try to option on that.
Yeah.
If you're down,
hell
you
yeah.
option, and then you lose a point because you didn't hustle.
Oh, my God.
And those points mean a lot.
Oh, Baranik's my favorite when it comes to that, dude, man. Baranik, I had like a top 10 highlights.
Yeah.
And Baranik dug a ball like line over, but his follow through just kept going. And then it was Lotman and Alton. And Lotman tried to option the other way, and he ran off the court and just flew in the air and did that. You know, it looked like something from Side Out, from the movie Side Out, except that.
Yep.
You ever seen the movie Side Out?
I've seen it. Yeah.
So
Everyone's
he jumps
like,
in the
gotta
air.
watch it.
He jumps in the air and he spins right to hit. And then he spins and does this set that looks like a layup. And I'm like, I can't believe you gave this much respect to volleyball only for the final play of the game.
Right.
To be that. So, all right, we got one thing we thought Ben did well. Give me one thing you thought you wanted to do better going from that tournament to the next. You're like, this is the one thing. All right, Coconut Beach, decent finish. We're assessing ourselves. I like what my partner did. What's one thing I want to do better before I go to Wapaka?
I think just understanding like different plays that you could run for side out like opportunities. Like if you're in a funk and you know you're going up and down the whole time, and that's something like Ben and I were trying to work on. It's like, let's do a quick middle, or let's push something out to the pin and just mix it up a little bit, because when you play against like higher level guys, some of the way you're siding out, it's not going to be the same way. So if you have some variations and different plays to run, I think that's like a key factor in like potentially, you know, having your offense and being confident in it, like to have that go-to play where you could run. So that's something that Ben and I was working on, definitely like going into Wapaka. But personally for me too, then it was just kind of like my block form. That's something that I noticed too, of just like when's an opportunity for me to steal a ball that might be hit angle, or should I leave it for Ben? And that's like, no, it's like, it's kind of a hard decision, because against Logan and Evan, I probably took about 2 or 3 balls that deflected off my hand that I tried to go for, and I didn't get it. You know, and maybe Ben digs it and we get a point there and it changes the game a little bit. But they, you know,
I mean, but how do you let something like that go, right?
Yeah,
in the middle of the play.
You got it. I feel like the blocker's got to go for the most part, right?
Well, the blocker's got to go because even though you lost the point, you are doing something more significant. You're changing the way that they're hitting. You're changing the way that they think how much range they have. So you're going to lose a point, but you're setting yourself up for the long game.
True.
For this 2 out of 3 sets. So it's very much like serving, right? Like, and Miranda's who's a player too. Like you could serve someone's left shoulder, like zone 4, whatever. They'll step in and they pass a couple of balls, but you're really not looking for a quick point anyway. You're looking to constantly do that until they literally step in and midline it, or just start in and protect it, because you are looking for a ball where eventually they'll move. It'll go this way, and then the setter has to go left with it, or it goes backwards, and might result in an ace. So if you see something where they pass the first 2 balls, A lot of people might abandon their strategy or try something cute or something different, but but your block is very much like the serve, where it's constant pressure.
Yeah.
It's about pushing someone the same spot in their shoulder until they're just like, fucking stop that shit, you know?
Right.
And when they do that, you got them.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I it's strange for me to compare serve and a block. I mean, but only, in that respect, and only that respect.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. How was Wapaka? Did you play Wapaka?
Oh, it was awful. I still got knee pain from Wapaka too. It was a mess.
Kristen, Nuss, and Taryn were like.
I mean, luckily we were on courts 1 through 5. Because did you go? You weren't. You weren't there.
No, I was in Wisconsin though.
Yeah.
Really? I was
Same
training
time.
some players, and then 2 days before the tournament started, I left. I had to go back because there was we had juniors here in Hermosa.
Yeah, they had courts 1 through 5 that were a little elevated. Courts 6 through 10 were a little further down, like the hill, and that was puddles. Like they had puddles everywhere. Courts 1 through 5 had a couple puddles, and Ben got hurt playing there in our game first match. Like midway through our first set, Ben hurt his hip, like sliding and trying to jump, and then for the rest of the day he was hurt. So basically for that rest of the day he was lifting me up for options, like on serves. So the whole day was optioning, or whenever Ben could sat, and we played Grosseller pretty tough that day too. Like we had Grosseller 14-10 that day.
Who did he play with?
Jordan Gladstone.
Okay.
He was playing with Jordan Gladstone that day, and that's who we played after we pulled out. And Ben was playing great. I mean, he
told me that. Yeah.
He could barely walk. Like at certain, like I didn't think he was gonna make it through the most of the day, but he was able to kind of just play through it and still just like lift me up pretty well, and we were able to side out.
This is the year of the Big Mike.
Yeah, Big Mike, man, Grossell.
He did well in Coconut Beach, and then put the kibosh on Phil and Nick in Atlanta with a true 1 versus 16.
That was great.
Yeah, that'll work. You can play with that until it works.
Yeah.
Just move the pop filter close to the mic. There it is. This way you could just talk through or
Sweet.
however you want. Yeah, that was a pretty good match. That was a rare 16 beats 1.
Yeah.
That's only happened, I think in the last 5 years, that's happened a total of 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah, Gabe Ospina and Paul Lottman beat Taylor and Jake in Austin.
Yeah.
But people said Taylor was smashed. The way they made these guys with their gossip in Rumorville, they made it sound like wherever he came from, they mosh pit carried him to like the court and just dumped him on, and Taylor just woke up and said, "Oh, volleyball." You know. By the way, they won. They out of the contenders bracket. They came back and won. And Jake said he never wants to do that again. Let's just keep our head above water. Yeah. For the people listening, my volleyball people, as you know, a lot of these tour stops, if you stay in a winner's bracket, you only have to win 5 matches. You win 2 on Friday, you win 1 on Saturday, and then it's semis and finals on Sunday.
Shoot, that's right.
So the regular tour stops. I'm not talking about the tours that have that allow 24 or 32 teams. Yeah, that's it. Manhattan Beach, I think you have to win 6 maybe.
When they have 32.
Yeah, but the reason why a lot of these players start at the top and stay at the top, they just show up one weekend, they stay in the hotel, stay in the tent, right? Think about what Phil had to do to win all these things. He plays 1 game on Saturday.
Yeah.
And he's out of there.
That's nice.
He's on 1 game on Saturday.
We're playing on Wednesday now.
Yeah. Talk about you're tired. Dude, you play. Man, don't use the word tired to anybody that had to play at Coconut Beach. The Brazilians cramped up. They forfeited.
Yeah.
They played 5 matches on Sunday.
Yeah, that's the thing with the AVP next. You're playing 4 or 5 matches.
Yes.
You're playing a lot of matches.
But you know what, though? They hated it and they complained about it, but tell me that shit didn't work out in the end. Mm-hmm. Chicago. Mm-hmm. They went from the qualifier to the finals. People forget. Mastrini and Mastrini.
Oh, okay.
From the qualifier to the finals.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that Coconut Beach didn't fucking help prepare them for that, or Atlantic City, which had a double elimination qualifier and a double elimination draw, which was absolutely brilliant. I didn't think it was going to work because I'm like, how are you going to get a double elimination qualifier in one day? They did it.
Yeah, no, a double elimination qualifier?
Yes, Atlantic City.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
So for everybody listening, got to educate our audience.
Yeah.
So this is where it's.
I was supposed to play.
We're not full of inside jokes and shit. You got the Rona? You were down with the sickness?
I was on my way there. I was on the flight and I got tested right off the flight and I got COVID and I couldn't play.
Oh man, everyone had COVID, dude.
I don't know.
At some point, everyone had COVID, right? Like,
I think so.
Even when you didn't
Hopefully.
have COVID, you thought you had COVID, right? Like, God, you see this commercial, like Chris Rock said, do you go to bed at night and wake up tomorrow morning? Yeah, I got that. I think I got that disease. Those are the symptoms. Those are the shortness of breath. I'm always fucking short of breath. Come on, I just ran stairs. Do you feel dizzy? Yes.
Yeah.
I live in California in the sun. You know, do you feel like you're drunk all the time? Yes, because I drank. You know, you have COVID. So educating the people at home, Atlantic City was $100K purse, so 50 per gender, which is very close to a tour stop when you consider Austin, like the purse money for Austin and Seattle and all that stuff. And double elimination qualifier. Winner's bracket was 2 out of 3. Contenders bracket was 1 to 28.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So the winner's bracket, you only really had to win 2 matches. 2 matches, you're in the final 8, the quarterfinals.
And then you're through.
And yeah, because they're not going to play each other for 1 spot. Those are 4 spots, boom.
Gotcha.
And then the last 4 spots were people that probably had to win more matches, but those matches were only 1 set to 28.
Nice.
And I thought it was great because
Yeah.
it gave, like, if you, let's say you're in the qualifier and you're playing matches fucking Grossell and Doc. If you win, they're out, and that's a good team that's out. They win, you're out, and that's a good team that's out. So you give this team a second chance to repair and bring it back to the rear. I thought it was a great idea, and I think if Atlantic City can do that under their conditions, human conditions with no night lights, AVP should do it. The tour stop should do it. Yeah.
Like even on those like Manhattan Beach Friday, like the Thursday qualifier.
Yes.
You think they run that?
The
Yeah.
Wednesday and
Like-
Thursday?
Or the Wednesday and Thursday.
Brilliant.
Thursday they do it. Yeah.
Brilliant. Look,
It would be
people
cool. I mean, 1 to 28 is always just something that a lot of players don't want to but you got a second chance.
But if it's
you just lost a
contenders-
match.
Yeah, but if
You
it's
just lost a
contenders,
match,
the
so
AVP
you're
is going to
good.
be like, I'm not going to give you a lap dance too. You just lost.
True.
You
Yeah.
know? What do you want, a
Yeah.
chocolate chip cookie to go with this one game, the 28?
Yeah. That's true.
Thoughts on the 2-day qualifier?
I mean, I only played in one before. I thought it was good. I think it kind of like, I don't love it obviously because it's more days of playing and it's really hard. You play 3, like we played in Manhattan, we played 3 matches, and then we played Avery Drost and Grant O'Gorman, and that was just like a tough match. But
Yeah.
I think there is a separation between those. There's a separation between those players who are in the Thursday qualifier and the Wednesday. Like there is a gap, between their level. So they do have an advantage of having that extra day where they're playing less games now and less tournaments. I probably they're playing less that day, I would think. So if it's an advantage for them, then kind of that's what it is. Like the top, the higher ranked you are, you get a better advantage.
Miranda, can you go on Safari, see if I have one of my windows, I have a bvb.info up. I just want to see if we could scroll through some of these teams who are in the second phase, what they're calling phase 2.
Oh man, those teams.
And see how many of those teams and players have already been in the draw. Do you have it? Oh, that's the Buffalo Bills. At first I was afraid. I was petrified. Let's try BVB. Boo. Not BIV. Not BVD. Not Belle Biv DeVoe. BVB.info. Let's do that. And let's hope. I don't like when they do these. Can you find an actual tournament on there now? All right, so any tournament. Once we hit the year, the AVP, the year, we can find the Manhattan Beach or whatever, and yeah, once we do that, we can find a tournament. But you'll be surprised how many of those teams. Not overly surprised, but phase 2. A lot of those teams have already been in the draw.
Oh, yeah. Most of those.
Samuels and Ratty, right?
Right.
Who I was coaching, they were in the draw. David Lee and Sean Cook are in the qualifier. David Lee, I think, made a semis in Hermosa Beach with Rosie. It was a semis or a final.
I saw.
Because I remember Dougie Fresh was the coach.
I was there
Dougie
for a lot of that
coaching
too.
him.
I was watching that.
And when you go to the tournament, let's look up qualifier.
Qualifiers for which year?
2021.
Robbie Page and
Yeah, Page and Hagen.
Right.
Hagen's made a draw with Lucas Yoder. And I
and
think
you had Lev Prima. You
and
got
Landell, they're qualifying machines. They're basically the McKibbins of this decade, right? Like, No, that's AVP.com.
Oh, it's giving me different places.
Do they have a BVB.info?
It's not the recaps.
All right, so what you can do is you go on a player's name, right? And then a player's name, it'll show a tour, 2021 AVP, like that. Just press it. 2021, and then Atlanta. Let's do Manhattan. Let's do AVP Chicago. Shoot, where is it? AVP Tour. There's Atlanta, Manhattan Beach. Let's do Chicago, like that. And let's do qualifier. All right, cool. Now, do me a favor. Zoom in phase 2. That's phase 1. Zoom in phase 2. Lotman and Partain. Lotman and Partain took a 5th in Chicago last year, and they took a 3rd this year.
Oh, they were in the phase 2 for.
Yeah, that's phase 2. This is and they had to play McLean and Kuzrak. That's not stylistically. Right. I thought it was a good matchup because I think Rob McLean does really good against the Partains. Mm-hmm. But maybe Kuzrak wasn't ready with respect to him. Pagan, Smith, and Page. That's one 18 bracket. Look at that. Look at the 18 bracket, dude. That's ridiculous. That's all the same bracket. Dentler and Ferrari, who were 3rd and Coconut Beach. Brewster has been in the draw once. Dave Palm. Right, he did it with Dylan Merrick. Actually beat Case Beer and Shock on center court.
Yeah,
he did that with him. Yeah, great run by them. And mind you, that's just 118 bracket. That's not even like 6 of those teams are not going to be happy. Scroll down a little bit. Go down to the second one. Let's see. That's Landell and Prima. Mewhirter and Roberts. Adam Roberts, longtime journeyman. Mewhirter's qualified 3 times. Cox Samuels has qualified multiple times with Michael Brunstein. Westberg has, Plummer has, Rafi Polis has with Jeff Grossell Vandermeer. So that's another killer bracket where someone, if you look at the play-in, go back to Grossell, go back to the final one. Look at Landell and Prima, Grossell and Vandermeer.
Yeah, it's
that's a team
loaded.
That's not going to be in a draw.
Right.
It's crazy. So I like the 2-day bracket because. Well, I don't know why I like it, but I think I went through all that shit
I think there's a separation. There's a separation between you don't have players that are in the Wednesday qualifier, the Wednesday day, that have kind of had that type of success yet. You know, those Wednesday guys are fighting for that type of success, and that kind of separates them. So they got to get through Wednesday to get to that point. You know, those guys are at a different level. You know, or they had more success.
100%. I also would suggest that nobody's waiting for big players to trickle down anymore. Like in the beginning of the tour, before the tour started, we were waiting to see at the top who was going to play with who, right?
Yeah.
And then the effect would trickle down, and then partners who've been playing together would switch up. Oh, I got a chance to play with Theo. Oh, I got a chance to play with Avery Dross. Sorry, nothing. Nothing personal, right? No hard feelings, this and that. But that's not what's happened the last 2 years. Like Evan Cory and Logan Webber. Webber could have easily played one with Mark Burik. No, he's ride or die with Cory.
Yeah.
I think when Shasta gets better, you and him should stick together. That is a hell of a team.
Right.
So there's this trickle up effect. Grossell was journeymaning, but still looking for his partner. Yep. But him and Doc, I think they're probably going to let that ride a little bit more. And now you're going to see more teams that start with each other in the beginning, train with each other in the beginning, and might tell a real good player, thanks but no thanks.
Yeah.
And in light of the fact that, what else has changed? We're bringing in a new crop of what we call permanent front row blockers, right? Right?
Yeah,
Phil's on his way out, and Jake's gone. Who else is left? Avatar's gone, right? Theo Brunner, he's still there, but he's going to play. Him and Kame Schalk, I think, are ride or die.
For sure.
Who else is there? Think about it. List is short.
Those are kind of the main guys. Yeah. A lot of opportunity for new guys.
100%.
The new young blockers.
Yeah, man. Well, who's coming up? Who do you like that's coming up?
I mean, you got Andy Benesh, for sure. Like, he's the guy. He's a great guy, and just in general too. And he's working, and he's playing with Billy Allen. So that's definitely like big time help for him to like be able to play with him and just get that like feel for playing with like a defender like that. Then you got Logan too. You got Logan, Andy, and
Logan's blocking has improved too. He's patient. And the other thing about Benesh is you get a good package deal because if you get Billy Allen, you get John Mayer as your coach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
John Mayer is what I call a real coach. You know, and everyone's out there, oh, what do you mean real coach? What are you trying to say? I'm not a real coach. I'm important too, right? I eat German food. I practice baseball. No, I'm talking about real coaches. I'm talking about coaches that put in that straight work.
Yeah.
I have this combination of what my eye test tells me and what my win-loss and what the win-loss record tells me. We're East Coast guys, right? Bill Parcells says you are what your record says you are. Huh. That is fucking cold. And he's right. At the end of the day, you know, but at the end of the day, people can chest thump and if they have enough backing, it can last a long time without winning, right? I'm sound like I'm disrespecting USC now, right? USC, right? 2 winning seasons in 6 years. Their indoor men's team. People still want to go there. Jeff Nygaard still has a job. Everyone, we're all good. Dallas Cowboys, right? Been in a national embarrassment on and off the field. They're still America's team. They're still on national TV. So certain people's star power carries them a long way.
Right.
But then you've been doing this long enough where you're like, Tom Brady he just went to Tampa Bay. I think I'm gonna take a pay cut to play with that guy. Oh my God, I just retired. I'm coming out of retirement. I think I got 1 more year left in me. So that so those are the guys. That's John Mayer. That's the guy you're like, I think I'm gonna play with Billy Allen because I know John Mayer is my coach.
Yeah.
And Billy Allen's always in shape.
Yeah.
Benesh is a great upcoming pick. Paul Lottman's one of my guys.
His block looks great this year too.
Yeah. And mind you, we're just talking about front row blockers because that's an easier subject. Because the back row defenders, there's almost an overload of young men coming up, you know, that will dare to challenge everybody to because right now we had a bunch of players the last 5 years that were happy being the best in the U.S. and it's like go take a trip overseas and it's like Christ, you're gonna serve lollipops to Guto and Simon. Come on, stop. Stop. You got Ivandro, who's 6'11", jump serving, playing full-time defense. Yeah. And you want to be a permanent this and you want to do this your way and but there's something about where Miles Partain is, the guys who were like a couple of years before him and the guys who were a couple of years after him, they said the men are in trouble and we're right, we are in trouble, but help's on the way. Because guys like that challenge people to do better. You've been playing for 4 years. Yeah. You're challenging guys to do better. What the fuck? I've never seen you play as well as I did in my life when I saw you play in Coconut Beach.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks. I felt real good.
I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, I'm gonna sound like an idiot. That looked like a real volleyball game. That's what I wanted to say. It looked like something you watch on fucking TV, and that's. I mean, it's an insult in a way because that's how you play. You play as if there's a lot at stake. Yeah. So that was
that's
amazing. Miranda, you shoot, man. We make that trip next year. They have night lights. I went from Monday to Monday just to like meet the people, to see the setup, eat some food. I'm not a big fan of crawfish, so sorry.
Oh yeah, I was at that bowl. I got some crawfish.
Oh God, it's disgusting. Guess you just eat that to live. You don't eat that because it tastes good. You eat that because
it's good.
Oh, the hell with that. Oh, come on.
It's a lot of work though.
Yeah. So, Kristen Nuss and Taryn Kloth, another team that's decided to ride or die together.
Yeah.
There will be conversations and chatter outside of their range on like, oh my God, Taryn Kloth, when she gets good, she's gonna want another partner other than Kristen Nuss, and that's not gonna happen. They're if you've ever talked to them, they are airtight.
Yeah. And they're competing already.
And winning is
and they're already winning, so
yeah. I don't think Clays and Sponsor are together anymore.
Really?
Yeah. Rumorville says they're not together, and Kelly Clays was actually practicing with someone else. Actually, this morning I saw her out there, and I don't know. Look thick as thieves. But, yeah.
Maybe the girls switch on more than the guys. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Well, the girls are not in trouble because what Clays and Sponsor won't do, the girls bringing up their rear will. There's going to be more
They got the college feed. Yeah.
There's going to be more Kristen Nuss and
Yep.
Taryn Close. Chrissy Jones, Muno, they're savage. Betsy
Yeah,
Flint,
it's a good
still
team.
young. Eventually, she's going to, I don't know how long her and Emily Day are going to play together, but they're a pretty good team. And Manhattan Beach, they went straight Jakari's mode in the finals, right? They were down by 2, and Betsy served like 2 aces, and against Kleiman and Ross, and now you got a game. So
Yeah. What was that? What game was that? It was like 39-37.
oh, that was Kloth and
That
Kloth
was
and Nuss.
We were sitting there waiting to get into the stadium, just like
Manhattan Beach.
34,
That
33.
was Sponsel and Clays against Kloth and Nuss, and that was 39-37. And then Chicago, April Ross and Kleiman, that was 40-38.
jeez.
So
at the
that
same
was
time,
two different tournaments and two matches.
yeah. I think Bruner's game was going on at the same time too. That was like 40. They had 50 serves in the freeze. I think at that same point when that Tyrants game was going on too. So
How do you feel about the freeze?
I haven't had an opportunity to play it yet, but I like it. I mean, I think it's an opportunity. I mean, it sucks if you're winning. If you're losing, it's good. It kind of goes both ways.
How do you feel about the freeze, Miranda?
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I really haven't had that many experiences where I've gone to, have
Yeah.
the game. But
I think it's fun for the fans though too. As a fan too, I like it.
Oh, the fans, of course.
fan,
They're
I
the
like
ones that
it.
win. The players are like,
Yeah.
I'm sure Ricardo hates it right now. I mean, God, how many freezes has he been up? I mean, this is going on multiple tournaments now. He's just like, I don't know about this, but I guess I like it. I guess it's good for the sport. It's not good for TV time, but I mean, they're already coping with baseball.
Oh, baseball. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love baseball, but there's a
There's
lot.
no
There's a
shot
lot
clock.
there's a lot, but there is more time standing around between plays in baseball than there is in volleyball.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh yeah, baseball and even football.
Yeah.
That's that too, right? For football games,
yep.
it's like crazy.
What do you think of Bally's? Bally's.
Oh, taking up AVP, it's exciting. I think, right? I'm
it's been on
pretty.
TV a lot.
I'm pretty excited for
What's
it.
that?
They've had it on TV a lot. There's been a lot of AVP on now, on the Bally's channel.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Nice.
We've had a lot of AVP games that have been showing.
Where's their channel?
I don't have what is it? I don't have cable.
No, what's it
Like,
called?
It's not. It's just says
Bally's has their own channel?
Yeah, they've got their own channel.
Oh my God,
I'll
I'm
have to
down.
figure that out, but we've been watching it at home a lot.
Yeah, let me know, because me and him are like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Yeah.
Nah, look, I like Bally's because they're a machine,
Mm-hmm.
and their media machine is savage, and as far as getting stuff out there, but we got to make sure the product is dope. So
Yeah. I mean, if they run as many tournaments, like I was looking back in the day, like in the '90s, and like how many tournaments they ran, like. I mean, they were really like moving every weekend.
there's like 26 stops.
Yeah, that was a grind.
That's a career though,
Yep.
right? You can get paid to show 2,500. You win a couple of matches. You come out with 3,400, but you're doing that 26 times a year.
Yeah. Every other weekend.
That's what. That's close to what? 50,000 or 51,000 or something like that.
Oh, if you get 2,500 tournament.
Let's say you make 3,500 a tournament, and it's weird. I don't know how to do the math.
Well, if you played 20, you'd make 70K, then right?
70K.
Yeah. If you played 20, make
Yeah.
3,500.
Make sure you got sponsors, right? Make sure your
Yeah.
sponsors pay for your flight. Make sure your sponsors pay for, the entrance,
Mhm.
the entry fee. I mean, Baranek and Troy. I mean, the only regret that I don't have with them staying together is they're a promotion machine.
Yeah, they're great.
Right? They're a sponsor's wild dream. They're just enigmatic.
Yeah, they're fun.
extroverted. They're fun.
Yeah.
But I guess something about friends playing together.
Yeah, that could be a little rough, but yeah. I don't know. Ben and I were always good with that too. So that was like it could be a challenge at times though too Ben and I never had that issue though, but
No.
it's kind of like playing with your girlfriend. If you play with your girlfriend co-ed or something like that, you can't do it. I don't
Do you know how
think,
many
right?
married couples that are like, no,
They won't
he's
do
got to
it.
be over there. Because they're old enough and they've done it enough times.
Yeah.
Where they just come to terms they're not going to do it. Yeah. Me and my girl, we play really well together. We do good together. We're like the undefeated kings right now. We played Nicole Brandin and John Stossel. We play these odd teams in co-ed, you know. Rob McLean played with Ola Bakovic, Alexandra Bakovic, this girl from Poland, you know. But that was her fault because she served me every ball. I told her, I'm like, you know, and I don't know if there's an etiquette for co-ed. And it's cool we're having this conversation where, like, are the guys supposed to serve to the guys and all the girls are supposed to serve to the girls? I mean, it's weird, you know.
In New York, we did that. In Gav.
Well, in New York.
They always did.
In New York, everybody just served the girls.
Oh.
And like some of the bigger tournaments, you were only good as your girls because if to win, they felt they had to serve all the girls. Out here, it's like the guys are serving the guys and the girls are serving the girls. Long Island, same thing.
Guys, girls.
Very much whatever. So, and it's not like reverse co-ed where they paint this stupid line on the grass. It's beach, you know. Guy can't block, you know. Guy can't hit onto. It's just so stupid. Just a dumb wherever you are. VBLI, dumb. I don't like this tournament. It's dumb. So Bally's.
Yeah.
I like Bally's, and I think their promotion machine works. But my challenge to the players are, cowboy up, man. Spend more time making ways to get better. Get as much videotape on each other as you can. In fact, everyone should trade videotape on each other. No more, unless it's practice tape. Practice tape is different. Get as much game tape on each other as you can. So this way, when you're playing in a match, it's not a feeling out process.
True.
You getting that from play one. You guys are getting after each other from whatever. Because I have friends that don't watch volleyball, but they'll pass by a game and they're like, this looks interesting, right? But if there's just 4 teams going through the motions, trying to feel out what each other's trying to do for like a half a game, those people that don't play the sport are like, I'm out of here. All right, bye. Even players that do watch the sport, who've seen them do this over and over again, it's like, all right, I'm going to go to another court because I already know how this one's going to turn out. You know? Spend more time getting to know your opponents. Get in, get after. Kloth and Nuss are good for the sport. Yeah. There's no foreplay in their sex life. It's just in and out and boom. Their volleyball sex life, should I say. In and out, boom, bye. You know? Cory, good for the sport. Logan Webber, good for the sport. There's no feeling out process. I only brought that because you're sitting here. I think you're so unassuming because you're still so new at this. That's the only way you know how to play.
Right. Yeah. I think that's the thing. Is like just becoming out aggressive now from now on. Just having that confidence. And I think what all those tournaments do is that gives you that confidence. You play in those situations. You're like, all right, come out here, come out strong, come out aggressive.
Where'd you play basketball?
I was at St. John's and Holy Cross in Massachusetts. So St. John's in Queens.
Nice.
Yeah. And then
it's my team.
St. John's was Ron Artest, all the guys.
Mark Jackson.
Luke Carnesecca.
Chris Mullen, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. We got to meet some of the guys. Or Anthony Mason Jr.'s son was on our team at St. John's. So we got to meet Anthony Mason.
Did he pass away?
He did, like
what is he, like a WWF wrestler? How did you pass away so young?
Yeah, I feel bad. It was he was, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure what he passed away from, but
God, what's up with my brothers dying so early, man? Yeah. You know, I mean, wrestlers, you kind of understand, like all of those performance-enhancing drugs, all the addiction to alcohol, opioids. Sooner or later, even if you stop, it catches up to you. Like Eddie Guerrero, and not to mention the CTE. You know, just like the wrestling's fixed, but only fixed in result.
Yeah, still dangerous.
The stunts are real.
Yeah.
You know. And you got even Vince McMahon throwing himself through tables. I'm like, man, how do you take a day off from work when this dude is 70 years old, getting hit with chair shots?
Oh, yeah, you can't complain about anything anymore.
Nope. I need the day off.
Yep.
Look at that guy. So, but that would be my challenge for beach volleyball players. But what position you play in basketball? Sorry, I'm all over the place.
I was a guard, like a small forward.
Okay.
So I was like athletic slasher type guy.
And Holy Cross is where? Which Holy Cross?
Worcester, Massachusetts. So they're in the Patriot League. So they played against like Lehigh, Bucknell,
cool.
Colgate. So that was that division.
Holy Cross, the high school in New York is really good.
Yeah, I was at Christ the King first too.
Wow, that's the other one.
So we won. Yeah, it was at Christ the King, and then I transferred to St. Francis Prep midway through.
That's the real NBA combine.
That was great.
Like there's like 8 high schools in New York City that are like Lincoln High School.
It used to be Rice.
Yep.
St. Raymond's used to be the powerhouse, and then but ours. If I would have stayed at Christ the King, they had 4 or 5 Division I guys on the team. So they're putting out Division I guys like.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They're just pumping them out, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, Providence, big recruiting center for that. Yeah. Marbury went to Lincoln High School. Carmelo Anthony. Where did he go to? He's from Red Hook, Brooklyn, but I know he spent some time in Queens.
Stephon Marbury was he's on Marbury.
Jamal Mashburn.
I forgot the lefty from used to play for forgot what's his name now. Damn. Yeah.
Don't matter none.
Yeah. There's a lot of names. A lot of big time. Kemba Walker was at Rice.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, which team that you played that you actually look forward to? You're like, this is the best team I played, and this is the challenge I've been waiting for, and I'm so up for this, and I'm so freaking ready. Who is it?
I think it might have been Avery and Grant in the Manhattan qualifier. I played Avery one time in a CBVA before that, and I was ready. Like I was excited to play against Avery and Grant. And, like Avery blocked me like 6 times in the CBVA that I played against him. So I was looking forward to getting another chance to go at him. I'd like to play him again. And then he blocked me another 5 times in the qualifier, and they ended up walking away. They ended up beating us probably like 21-15. And then another time too, playing Eric and Troy too.
Was that the one in the Manhattan one? The
Manhattan one we played Avery and Grant, and then we played Eric and Troy in
Coconut.
And that was like a big time game for us. I was pumped. Like have to play against them in a tournament setting like that, and just see where we're at and have a chance to like. That was a windy day too, so that was a rough day.
Avery has good tournaments like that. Avery is on fire some days, and some tournaments I've seen him play full-time defender. The first time I saw Avery play was actually in New York City. Bill Kolinsky and him, they made semifinals. Yeah, that was the first tournament I ever seen Taylor Crabb play. Actually, he was wearing a hooded sweatshirt in 90-degree, humid as fuck New York weather, and the reason why I call him Dirty White Boy is because the song that was playing while he was playing playing with Spencer McLaughlin, and they actually made the draw, and then he's 2 and done after the draw, but he wasn't even sweating. He's wearing a hooded sweatshirt. It's 90 degrees out there, and he's got that particular face he has, kind of almost like, have you ever seen Shawshank Redemption? Like Tim Robbins has that look, like he knows something you don't, kind of that. I can't even explain the look.
Right.
It just leaves me stupefied. But the song from Foreigner, Dirty White Boy, was playing, right? And then they looped it. They played it again. So now every time I see him play,
you got it.
I think of Dirty White Boy. I think of the song Dirty White Boy. So nice. I've even mentioned that on some or whatever, and like everybody's like,
yeah, I don't know it.
Huh? No, it's Foreigner, and I would play it, but we get flagged. I ain't trying to get flagged for no stupid music. Who's the best conditioned partner you play with?
Conditioned?
Yeah.
Like just in shape or just like?
Yeah.
Not too sure. I partnered up with Shazzle for a long time, and Brett Hornick. He was a 6'7". He's a 6'7" blocker, so I was playing defense with Brett a lot of times too.
Oh shoot!
So I was trying to be full-time defense. I want to still be a full-time defender eventually, but right now I just started committing to blocking just because there's a lot more defenders too that I want to play. Brett got hurt. Brett got hurt too, so he stopped. He couldn't play for a while. So then I just started blocking full time, and Ben and I started going at it, and we started practicing together for like 3 months. And I don't know.
I talked to John Mayer. Said he's had a lot of good partners. He said Jeremy Casebeer was the best conditioned partner he's ever played with. And it's weird because he does have that body, right? Like if he were in ancient Rome, he'd probably be like nailing people to a cross and then just like going in a gladiator arena and wrestling someone down, and then go get a snack.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
Jeremy Case beer. For me, the limited time I played beach, but I played a ton of grass. This guy named Seydou Janako, he's from Ghana, West Africa, and he played at Cal Baptist, 4-year player. He I guess being African as a general rule, that they don't get tired.
Yeah, actually, that was probably my first partner. This guy Brian Snow from Long Beach never got tired.
Nah,
he's doing a flip, and he'll do like a flip, like mid game. He's just like flipping, like goes for a loose ball, and he does like one of those ways you get up, or you do like a back.
Yes,
flip. And I'm
like Shawn
and I'm
Michaels.
walking. I'm trying to conserve as much energy, and Brian's just able to just like not stop. And I'm like, damn, I wish I had that, because I'm gonna cramp in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, like always, got cramp issues.
But there's nothing in the world like having a partner like that, where the other team looks across the net, and he's just still amped, and the other team's just like.
Yeah.
It's like watching a Rocky movie, right? He's looking across like, I'm ready, and Drago's just like, like Jesus, more. So, who are you going to play with this year?
Not sure yet. Really?
What? You came on, man, you're on the right show. You just said that on the right show. Do you know how many people? What? You should play Rob McLean.
Play Rob. I'm kind of right now this whole off season. I just want to. I'm just focused on getting better.
Yeah.
And playing, and then kind of seeing what happens really for this year. Because I think maybe January or February next year, try to figure out like kind of what you want to do to get into the season. But at this point, just practicing and working on stuff. And
I only brought up Rob because he's just my close friend. In fact, I call him a brother from another mother. He has spent some time away from the sport. Like the hardware has always been good. You just had to work on the software, as one of my friends said. And
he's got a ton of
he might agree or disagree with me, but it is what it is. And now he's in a good place there. Everything else is enhanced. Like physically, he's better than he was before, and he was already good. He already reached like 11-2 or whatever. Everything else has leveled up. His hands.
Yep.
His hands, he's a release. He's a fast release setter, which is great for the beach because they don't call spin because you're hitting it with both hands. In fact, it's so fast it looks like an invisible man is like he's like is like setting it before he can touch it. It doesn't even look like he's touching the ball.
Right.
That's how fast his release is. He's a hybrid. Hybrid meaning like you, he can split block.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hybrid left both sides of the net.
Ambidextrous.
He can split block, or go full time block, or go full time defense. I'll show you. There's plenty of sample size. Rob Dioror, he made last round qualifier twice.
I saw that one.
Kuzrock, he had a tough first round with like Gabe and Art, but
Yeah.
but a lot of it didn't have anything to do with him. The guy didn't get any serves. I mean, and when he did, he was throwing it down, like I said, with either hand. So the reason why I brought him up is because he's now a partner where you don't have to deal with your partner, and that's something you need to be looking for in the near or distant future. You need one less thing to worry about and one more thing that someone brings to the table. You only have to deal with your partner if they're so fucking good that you're like, all right, yeah, right, it's
Right.
like, it's like when Michael Jackson got caught with like another kid, they loved him so much they let the first kid slide, you know.
True.
But another bad
that's
example.
like dealing with any like big time like superstar, NBA, all these guys.
Forgivable.
Yep.
By the way, all the drama kings are the best players.
Yeah.
Right? Show me a guy who doesn't bring all these problems that's not talented. The reason why they're even relevant, or we even call them drama kings, or have the take the time to call them drama kings, is because they're good.
Right.
Antonio Brown. Right? He's good.
Yep.
We can go on and on. Like Iverson, right?
Iverson.
He brought a lot of drama. You know,
Yeah,
right? We're not a real game, but practice. We talking about practice. Remember that?
Yeah.
Not a real. There's a comedian. Who was a comedian that he imitated Morgan Freeman imitating Allen Iverson. So he's like, practice. We talking about practice.
Not the game.
Practice. 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 Not a real game.
Yep.
but practice. He had,
Narrator voice.
and everyone was cracking up. This dude, I forgot the comedian's name. He does a really good Charles Barkley. He does a really good Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith is one of my favorite people to listen
person.
to.
Yeah. He's got character. He's funny.
And we also have the same sentiments. We think the same thing. Like he's still a Knicks fan. That's the only difference. I give him my Knicks card.
Yeah, it's
Who's
a tough card.
Who's your team?
Knicks fan.
Oh,
Knicks
come
fan.
on!
We got. It's a tough life.
All right, shit. I'm out. I'm leaving. Man.
Bye-bye.
That's it. I mean, I like Jason Kidd a lot. Jason Kidd's my guy. I was a Nets fan. I was a big time Nets fan growing up with Jason Kidd, Kerry Kittles, Vince Carter, Richard Jefferson. That was my team.
Kenyon Martin.
Oh yeah, that was my team. That was
Savage.
my favorite team.
Talk about Rough Riders, dude.
That was a good team.
That's the only way they make the finals.
Keith Van Horn.
Yes.
That was a fun team to watch. So.
But how do you think that team makes the finals? They're a bunch of rough. They had an edge. They didn't just play basketball. They had an edge. Yeah, Kenyon Martin was a rim protector, dude.
Yeah.
Good alley-oop.
Vince Carter, Rich Jefferson on the wings.
Well, I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan now.
Yeah.
I turned on my Knicks card. They were good this season, but I know what's going on.
I like Julius Randle though, and he's working.
But I know,
his improvement this year was unbelievable.
But they don't think I know what's going on. That's a honey dick to get fans to come back, and then they're gonna be bad again. No,
Classic Knicks setup, right?
Yes.
But Melo, what do you think about Melo coming?
Back to Lakers?
Like, what do you think about Melo originally for the Knicks?
I didn't like the trade because at the time the Knicks were winning. Stoudemire was putting up 29 a game, and he was that kind of like bring your lunch pail to work thing, and Knicks fans are down. New York fans are down with that guy, and they chose to trade the house. Gallinari, Felton was in his prime at that time. Gallinari's young, coming up, with good coaching. And another really good, they gave up 3 players for Carmelo because they knew he would sell tickets.
True.
So nobody goes to Carmelo Anthony because they're thinking about winning a championship.
Yeah.
So do I like Carmelo Anthony? Yes. Does he work hard? Yes. Did the guy humble himself and learn how to play defense under Brown?
Yeah.
Not Brown. Woodson. Under Woodson? Is that his name? The black guy? Who's the black guy that was a coach?
Yeah, Woodson.
And that one season where they took the 2 seed, that there's a season they finished second.
Yeah.
That's because Carmelo was back there playing some D.
Yeah, that's what we needed. That was the kind of issue. That's what I was like, we signed him originally, but that was kind of frustrating.
You didn't sign him though. Nobody signs Carmelo to play defense.
Yeah,
you sign Carmelo because he puts
Score.
butts in seats, and the fluidity of his shot is just.
He's one of the best scorers.
He's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I'm glad he resuscitated his career in Portland, right? Because he looked like he was having a good old time out there with Damian Lillard, and now he's with the Lakers.
Yeah.
But something happened. Because he looked like he was on his way to China, like with Marbury or whatever.
Yep.
But something happened. When he got back to Portland, there was something about him that was just different. And people cheered him for it, But I want the guy to win. And he's a Knick, too. At the time, you want him to win.
Yep.
You want him to win.
Yeah.
We should have been talking about basketball this whole podcast. We sat there and
then they got Jason
about...
Kidd. Well, they got Jason Kidd that year when they got 52 wins that year.
That was the 2 seed, right?
Yeah, Jason Kidd, just a floor leader, and that's kind of what's interesting too. Is like you got Jason Kidd, and that's like what I'm trying to find in volleyball too, is that like floor leader, like on a team, like who's gonna be the one that's gonna take charge, like on a team.
You have a better chance finding that in a sixes game, than a fours game. Sixes games, you're gonna find a lot of those generals.
Oh, like doubles too, though. Like even that way, I'm saying like you need that guy who's gonna like. Maybe be like the more strategy guy, like on a team, or like figure that out. Where Jason Kidd kind of had that feeling of like, I'm going to take command of this team, and like.
All right, here's a volleyball question as it pertains to kids. Is there a player on the tour or that we've seen in the America scene coming up that is a type of Jason Kidd? When I say that Jason Kidd, I mean not just leadership. Because in a 2-person team, there's one of them's got to be a leader anyway, right? There's no such thing as 50% control in a volleyball doubles relationship. For all of you listening, that animal doesn't exist. There's always going to be one person who has slightly more control or whatever percentages. So not just leadership, but someone who can work the ref, work his partner, work the other team, and dictate how fast or slow he wants the pace of the game to go. Something that Kidd was very good at. If he played a fast break team, he's slowed up. If he played a team that was slow and good on the other end, he's throwing touchdown passes to whatever. So, who on the tour? I guess we're still male biased, right? We're still thinking about men.
Right.
Who on the male tour that we have on the tour that's even remotely close to Jason Kidd right now?
Yeah, I gotta think that through. Like who's that analytical? Like who can like bisect the game a little bit?
Mayer was the guy that's
Mayer's
close. He
kind
doesn't
of
even play anymore.
Yep.
Mayer was the one guy.
I think
Except Billy Allen.
I see Billy Allen, and honestly, like I almost think about it this way just because the way he plays a little bit is so smart and is Miles Partain almost, but he's just not as vocal yet.
Yeah.
Like he's probably not because he's young. Like he's still like getting to that point where he could feel like he's playing with a blocker that might be 10 years older than him. But like if he's more vocal and like his craftiness like to his game too, like it's something different that you don't see like in some other guys maybe too.
He's so sound fundamentally too. He's so fundamentally sound in there's no frills in his game.
Mm-hmm.
You don't I was saying this morning I ran into Todd Hollenbeck, who's the head coach at Menlo College and like Jeff Nygaard's assistant at USC. And I said, you're going to find plenty of athletes who jump higher than Miles. You're going to find plenty of athletes who hit harder than Miles. You're going to find plenty of athletes who are more athletic than Miles. But yet there he is.
Yeah.
And there they are. Maybe he's our Jason Kidd.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you were hesitant because of his age, but
Yeah.
what the hell? What do we care how old someone is when he's making like tour stops in the semifinals or finishing quarterfinals? And I think Manhattan Beach, they lost to, did they lose to Ricardo or something like that? That was also a quarterfinal match.
And he's
to get into the semis.
And he's composed, always under control too.
Every game looks like 1-1 with that kid.
Yeah, yeah.
He's maybe this kid is our Jason Kidd, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who'd be our LeBron? We don't have a LeBron. We don't have a LeBron. We have a few Hardens.
They got to argue with the refs. Like, who's arguing with the refs the most then, too? LeBron's arguing with the refs all the time. Who's flopping? Like, who's arguing?
Who's flopping? Nick Lucena.
Yeah, I don't know.
Casey Patterson.
Yeah, potentially.
How about them, huh?
That was,
How about all three stops? They're in the finals.
They're playing great.
They're in the finals, all three stops.
Yeah.
The weird thing is Casey was on Casey Jennings' podcast, and he was asked, would the young Casey let the old Casey get away with what he's getting away with now? He says, fuck no. And that's what we need in the men's
But
scene.
the hard part, too, is, like, you had this, like, professionalism around, like, sports necessarily. But then you got, like, Casey, who's, like, fun to watch. Like, people love watching Casey play because he's animating. But you got like other players who are very composed and like not showing that emotion. So it's kind of like a mix of like almost in beach volleyball of like it is fun to watch someone that's gonna get excited, get riled up. And the same point though, you're playing a sport and you're being like you gotta be serious and you're trying to stay in your game mentally too. Where
do those styles complement each other? Like
Yeah,
for example,
I guess so,
you
like-
got Buttinger and Patterson.
true.
One guy who brings new meaning to the word introverted,
Yeah.
right? And Casey Patterson, who should wear a NASCAR suit for his sponsors and shit. Maybe
Yeah.
that's the secret of success.
True. One guy's gonna be level headed and just kind of not level headed but just calm. Yeah.
I want to see him serve more competitively. It's the only thing I think that's missing from their game. Shit, if they're going to play together, and it doesn't look like they're gonna last that much longer. Because Buttinger wants to go to the next Olympics, and I don't see Casey making it to the next Olympics. So, I just want to see him serve tougher.
Yeah, that's gonna be
serve
interesting.
I mean, they could serve lollipops and not get licked on the domestic scene because they have his Twitch reaction's amazing,
Right.
and Buttinger is not credited enough with being a formidable front row blocker. The guy's got amazing athleticism and reach. Talk about basketball transplants, huh?
Yeah.
A Nets player,
something.
right? Play with the Nets. Yeah. He played with 4 NBA teams, including
Yeah,
the
he
Nets.
did move, right? Yeah.
And I was listening to the commentators. They said he was runner-up on a slam dunk contest.
I think so. Yeah, I was
And
about to say I wasn't sure if he
said,
won
"Man,"
it.
I said, kiss my ass. You
Yeah.
know what? How
I
come
know.
what?
Yeah.
But when you think about it, though, how many times do we hear about runners-up in slam dunk contests?
True.
He was hidden in plain sight the whole
Yeah.
time.
Damn.
So,
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he won or not. I remember that slam dunk contest because
yeah.
I mean I think he was top volleyball recruit also out of high school, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And he chose basketball.
I think Hagan would be a good partner for you, but he's already got Paige.
Mm-hmm.
I think McLean would be an excellent partner because as far as backward defenders, the man has everything in his toolbox at every single person we talked about outside of Ahmed and Lupo and Christian Sorum has. He has everything that everyone on the domestic scene has. They just don't see it yet. He's even trained with Ali San a couple of times, and Ali San, Bruno's old partner, said the same thing. So,
I played McLean a couple times too. I always like playing with Rob. He
and he trained
because it's tips. He's vocal. He talks to you throughout the game too. So like, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
He's very vocal.
Yeah.
See, I like that though too, and
But
some
it's-
people may not like that, but if my partner's like telling me things, I'll listen, and then I could take it, and then I'll try to like work on that necessarily.
And those styles complement each other.
and you trust it, and you kind of want to trust what they're saying.
Look at Baranek and what he did with Bill Kalinsky,
Yeah, that was
2019, from the qualifier all
We
the way to
played
the
them in the qualifier.
semifinals. Yeah,
They were-
everyone did.
They
That.
were
I
the
mean,
8 seed, and we were
yeah.
like the 50-something seed.
Dude, they beat you guys. They beat Rob,
Yeah.
and they beat Jake
All right.
and Earl.
I
And
watched that
then-
game against Rob and
And
Rob.
then lost first round to Rafu and Ed, and then won like 7 straight contenders bracket matches to make the semis.
That was unreal.
But think about it. How many times in between plays was Bill Kalinsky saying something? Every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time.
That must have been
Almost
he
to a-
slowed down the game. He slowed down the game.
I mean,
almost
you
too
have
much.
players watching him. They were suffering from secondhand stress. Just
Yeah.
watching him have
Yeah.
something to say. It's like,
Yeah.
shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But you don't know what he's saying.
I know.
And Eric was okay with it. So you know what?
Yeah.
Go mind your own business. Why don't they just
Yeah.
mind their own business? So,
Yep.
yeah, but I like Rob for you.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. Hour and a half. Time flies. Is there a particular like Instagram handle? Anyone wants to know more about Mike Cavataio?
Oh, I'm Mike_Cav5.
Mike _Cav
Cav. CAV 5.
5.
Yeah.
As in Cavalier.
Yep. Cavataio. That's my nickname. I mean, people call me Cav. Or,
So you grew up Knicks,
I grew up Knicks, Yankees.
Yankees.
But Knicks with John Starks though.
Yeah,
I mean, that was
that's my team.
yeah.
I'm
I
giving away my age.
The front rim shot. The
Yes.
one front rim, back rim. And
Finger
it's like
roll.
game. I don't even know what playoff game it was. That was sick.
I do remember Starks having a chance to win it all. They're up 3 games to 2 on Houston.
Yeah.
And,
That hurt.
and he had a chance to dish it to Ewing or for the tie, but he chose to go it all for all and he missed.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next game, he missed like 18 out of 19 threes. And that's the curse.
Yeah.
That's the curse. That's the only thing anyone's going to remember.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not all the awesome things he did
Yeah, he was a competitor.
to get to the finals. You had to beat the
dunk
Bulls.
on was it a dunk on
Oh,
Jordan?
Jordan. He dunked on 2 people with his
Yeah.
left.
Yeah, that was sick. That was
Dude, that's I think I'm going to just take down this poster behind
Switch it
me
up.
and just have him with his left dunking on Jordan. That was awesome. Jordan got the last laugh, of course, but they were that put him up. The Knicks up 2-0, and then Jordan and Scotty and them won 4 straight. Charles Smith was like under the rim, took like 5 shots with 10 seconds left. He's right there.
Yeah,
So no, but that's my team. That was Anthony Mason.
Yeah.
That was Hubert Davis. That was Greg Anthony. That was Ewing. That
Charles
was
Oakley.
Oakley.
Yeah.
That was Rough Riders, man.
Yeah.
A
All those guys
bunch of
were
Rough Riders. dude.
bruisers. Yeah, they were.
They
I mean, the whole league back then too. The Pistons.
well
too.
between them and the Pistons,
Yeah.
that they introduced the flagrant foul.
Yeah.
The flagrant foul was introduced
They
in
changed the
1990
game. Yeah.
because of
Right.
the foul of a foul. No matter how hard hit, like if you touch someone, or if you clothesline him and knock him out of the air, if it's the same 2 points, they're like shit. That's like saying if murder and a parking ticket's the same thing. I'm just gonna go stab someone in the neck. So Knicks for me.
Yep.
Yankees, same thing. Jeter during the Jeter era,
Yeah.
Bernie Williams era,
Yeah.
Wetland,
That was
introduced him to
David Cone.
Rivera, Dave
Don
Cone.
Mattingly was
Mattingly
that guy.
was
Paul Pierce.
pure.
Yeah. Paul O'Neill.
Paul O'Neill. Just
I was at the '96 game 6, game 7 on Wade Boggs on the
Against
horse.
Atlanta? Yeah.
Yes.
Dude's riding on a horse. First of all, how the hell did a horse get into the stadium?
Yeah.
This dude is like, I just won the World Series.
I'm gonna ride on a
Let's
horse.
get on the horse. And he's doing like high fives on a freaking horse in
Yeah.
Yankee Stadium. Yeah. That's my team. I grew up, the house I grew up in Brooklyn, Lou Gehrig actually lived there for a year.
Oh, shit. Nice.
So I was even before I even knew what the rules of baseball was.
Right.
He used to commute from Brooklyn to the Bronx until the team was like, stop being cheap. Go live in Park Avenue. We'll pay for it, because
Yep.
he's from that blue collar family where like the whole concept of paying all this money to live in this apartment was like a waste of money.
Yeah,
that was
not
how
gonna be there.
he was raised differently. But what are you going to do? You're going to do a police escort from Brooklyn, Flatbush Avenue, right, all the way to the Bronx every day? You can't. You can't do that either. That might be just as expensive, and for the
Right.
same money, if you pour that logic down his throat.
Yeah.
So,
Make the move.
oh man, I'm so sorry I missed you at Tower 12.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah.
What
well,
about
next
your
time.
football team?
Jets. Yeah, it's a rough. It's been a sad couple of years there.
Mine is hey, let's go Buffalo.
Okay.
That's my team.
Nice.
Bill stands for Boy I Love Losing Super Bowls. BILLS. I don't care. All right, so I got your Instagram handle. We're gonna head out.
Cool.
Is there anything you wanted to add? I was all over the place, so sorry about that.
No.
Maybe at some point when we're more prepared, and when the season starts up a little bit and
For
we
sure.
have an outlook, definitely get out there, because I really enjoy talking about some of these tournaments,
Yeah.
which I don't call next tournaments. You
Yeah.
saw the video.
Yeah.
That's a first class setup, dude.
Oh yeah.
And
And
big
the
up to
teams.
Carly, right? Carly Gant, right? She's
Yep.
the one setting it up. Her and Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Big up to them, because there was confusion twice. They didn't know I was coming to do color commentaries, so there was
I
this
saw that.
thing where I was like, I took this trip for nothing, and
That was
They
the first
ended
game, right?
they ended up giving me a court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Oh,
great.
Coconut Beach.
Was it?
I only
Yeah.
needed to do one game,
Yeah, that was great.
and once I did one game, everybody was like,
Yeah.
"No, that guy's awesome." And the
Sweet.
feedback they were getting from social media was like, I don't. With respect to the rest of those guys, I felt like a rock star, because
Nice.
I literally had people putting their name out there, saying, "Hey, this is my name, and I don't care what they say about that guy. That guy's analytical." I thought it was. I felt like a rock star. It was great. Grossell came on the podcast because of the things I was saying about his game analytically. He says he wants to talk about that more.
Yeah.
So he came on the podcast.
Sweet.
Yeah, looking like Christian Bale with a shaved head. Also talk about basketball.
Yeah.
Big Mikes who play
Big Mike.
basketball.
Yeah. He played. He had some good numbers too. He put up some good numbers in college.
Citadel. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you don't think of Citadel that much when you think between that and St. John's, but bunch of dudes in the best shape of their life in a military academy.
Yeah.
It's like watching the All Army volleyball team. I mean, these guys are in the best shape of their life, traveling around.
Yeah.
We need to film them more.
It's like a VMI. They score like 100 points a game or something like that. Or
Jeez.
these VMI, Virginia Military School, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
Just run. 8 seconds left in the shot clock. They shoot like within 8 seconds right away.
Oh my God.
It's pretty fun. It's fun to watch.
That is fun
Yeah.
to watch, dude. So, all right, we're out of here. Everybody watching, where are you? For all of you at home, for all of you on your iPad, for all of you on your iPhones at the lunch line at Starbucks who took the time to watch this. For Miranda, so glad to see you. For my man, I can't call you Big Mike because that's his
Big
gimmick,
Mike's,
Mike Cavataio. I'm Jason DeBase. This is episode 113. We're out. Come check out the Option Podcast on OptionVB.com. It's also available on iTunes and Spotify, and on YouTube under the NY Varsity Sports handle. You're going to love what you hear. Let's end.